What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update today, 2021, as well as the next two upcoming packages, the physical infrastructure package and the next stimulus package known as the American Families Plan, as well as what is going on in the world today. First, I want to say I am literally seeing dozens and dozens of comments of people concerned or that have gotten a letter from Social Security saying that their benefits are going to be decreased. Now, I've been looking into this and I'm going to do a video on this coming here soon as we get more information. But what I would like to ask you guys from our community so we can kind of gather more information about this. If you got the letter saying that your Social Security benefits are going to be decreased, we're trying to figure out why this is, okay? Can you please email it to me? You can go to my channel, go to my main channel, like not the video, click on my name, it's Jimmy, and then you can go to the About tab and you can find my email address there. Can you please email me a picture of it? Black out any personal information or anything like that if you want to. Address. I don't even know what's on the letter, so I really just kind of want to see it and maybe be able to show it to our viewers. So feel free to black out your name, if your social security number's on there, anything like that. But I want to be able to be here for you guys whenever we have information like this coming out, good or bad, regarding stimulus checks, social security raises, the next stimulus package, the child tax credits, the monthly stimulus checks, everything, right? I'm here for you guys every day. We're a family. I consider you guys a family. That's why I like showing my family, my 3-year-old son. I like sharing them with you because I truly consider you guys family. And this channel is a huge part of my life. So just know that I'm here for you. And I'm going to be doing a story on this here in the next few videos or so as I gather more information. So if you got this letter saying your Social Security benefits are going to be decreased, if you don't mind, if you're not worried about it, just black out, take a picture of it, maybe black it out. Your personal information, and please email to me and I'll be covering it here on the show because we have a lot of seniors here on this show, and it's really big news that we kind of need to talk about. Also, just know that I don't make the laws in Congress, so I get a lot of seniors that are mad at me because we haven't seen the Social Security raise or anything like that. Remember, I'm just here reporting you guys the news, but I am here in your corner. I wish and hope that they're going to be passing more and more things. I will keep you up to date on everything. But you also be aware that you will qualify for the fourth stimulus check if and when passed, if you qualify first, second, and third. So, which is the vast majority of seniors and people on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, SSA, Railroad Benefits, VA. If you qualified for the third stimulus check, you'll most likely qualify for the fourth stimulus check. I say most likely because, well, we don't know the income thresholds or the qualifications yet. I think it's, in fact, the fourth stimulus check right now looks very, very similar to the situation, almost identical, to the second stimulus check. As we built up to the second stimulus check, we had more and more congressmen and congresswomen becoming in support of the second stimulus check. And basically, when it came time to pass the bill, they had to add in another stimulus check because there was so much support from not only Congress, the U.S. House of Representatives, and the Senate, but the people. I mean, we have a petition now that has over 2.6 million signatures for monthly recurring stimulus checks to be added into either the next infrastructure package or the next stimulus package. If they pass them separately, the infrastructure package known as the American Jobs Plan, and the next stimulus package known as the American Families Plan, which is kind of part one and part two, it'll almost certainly be in the American Families Plan, the stimulus package. If they combine them together, then they could put it in one and put the check in there. Now, I also want to say that we have these proposals for monthly stimulus checks and a single. Well, we don't really have a proposal for a single stimulus check. Both of the proposals from the Democrats is for monthly recurring stimulus checks. And this is really what the lawmakers, or I should say the Democratic lawmakers, are pushing for. Remember, the Democrats passed the third stimulus check through the reconciliation process without a single Republican vote, and is likely how they're going to pass the fourth stimulus check package as well. So they really don't need to negotiate with the Republicans over the next stimulus package. Now, they are negotiating with them over the next the infrastructure package, and it would be better for the whole stimulus situation if they pass that with a bipartisan bill, because The Senate parliamentarian came out with a ruling that they can only pass one more package this fiscal year with reconciliation. A lot of people don't understand how that works, and there's actually a lot of bad information about there. First of all, October 1st starts the new fiscal year when they get a whole new set of reconciliation cards. That's about 4 months from now. Second of all, there's multiple different ways that I went over kind of more in detail on how they can pass more packages in the next 4 months. They have one more reconciliation process, which was kind of weird because the Senate parliamentarian had ruled previously that there was two reconciliation packages that they could pass, and now kind of changed her own ruling and says that now they can pass one. But that is really not the case because there's multiple different ways they can get around that. Number one, they can literally fire her and bring in a new parliamentarian. The parliamentarian's not even an elected official, it's just kind of like a staffer that works at the Senate. And it has actually happened in the past. I believe even the Republicans did it. They literally fired the parliamentarian because they weren't happy with their work in the past and just brought in a new parliamentarian. So yeah, they can do that. Number two, they can literally just vote on a bill without the parliamentarian because the parliamentarian is actually a suggestion. It's not more the rule. So, and we've seen this in the third stimulus check package when they tried to vote on the $15 an hour minimum wage provision, and uh, they were going to pass it without her. They just didn't get enough votes. Okay. So they only got 42 votes. And that's because 8 Democrats are not in favor of a $15 an hour minimum wage provision from the Senate. They're more in favor of like $11 an hour minimum wage provision. So we'll probably see a bill, standalone bill, later on, probably after these two packages, along with student loan debt cancellation. I think that that'll be happening too, probably after they pass these next two packages. Democrats are already talking about another package after this one, because even if the virus was completely gone today and we didn't have a single virus case, the economic recovery is likely going to take years, especially with how bad the economic reports were for April and May. The jobs report and the retail sales report were absolutely terrible. And President Biden says that this makes it clear the need for more stimulus going forward. He also says that they can include a forced stimulus checks in this next package as if Congress wants to do so, basically giving a green light to the forced stimulus check that Congress so badly wants, at least the Democrats. We know that Senator Bernie Sanders and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer not only want a forced stimulus check, but actually want monthly recurring stimulus checks in the next infrastructure package, but it's more likely to be in the next stimulus package, the American Families Plan, unless they pass them together, which is a possibility here if they can't come to an agreement this week with the Republicans on the infrastructure package. This is the bill from the Senate right here, which is for $2,000 monthly stimulus checks from Senator Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren, an official bill that has been introduced in the Senate for $2,000 monthly stimulus checks. This is the one Senator Bernie Sanders and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer are behind. The one from the House of Representatives, which is co-sponsored by Michigan Representative Rashida Tlaib, and kind of more importantly by Democratic Representative Pramila Jayapal, who is the leader of the Democratic Progressive Caucus, which is about half of all the Democrats in the House of Representatives, like 100 different Democrats, for a $2,000 one-time stimulus check, then followed by $1,000 monthly recurring payments that would go until 1 year after the pandemic is over. And that's really kind of the important message that Democrats are saying, is that even if the virus was gone tomorrow and there wasn't a single case and 100% of people were vaccinated, the economic recovery, and this has been proved by the April and the May jobs report and retail sales report, they were terrible. So even though there's 50% of people vaccinated right now and cases are near an all-time low, at least in the US, the world is a completely different story, right? Japan, they're literally thinking about canceling the Summer Olympics because there's only like 2 or 3% of people vaccinated there, and they're not even letting foreign travelers go to the Olympics. So only people from Japan can go, and 10,000 workers just resigned because they're literally in fear of their lives in other countries. So, yeah, at least we're getting better on the virus front. But remember, that has no bearing. I mean, it has some bearing, but it really does not correlate 100% with virus and or recovery. Now, yes, the virus being gone will help the recovery because then it's just basic recovery. We don't have to worry about shutdowns and closures anymore. But remember, 37% of all small businesses have already gone out of business. Like they're literally just gone. No small business, over one third of them gone. Like all those jobs are gone. Like there's no jobs to go back to because 37% of them have gone out of business. In addition to this, they're not going to be coming back for a while. If you just lost your business, you're probably in a lot of economic uh, hardship right now. And the 2008-2009 recovery from the recession took 4 years. In fact, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said in an interview I played like yesterday on the show, he said it took 5 years. So we'll go with the lower half there, 4 to 5 years. But it's probably going to be somewhere close to that unless they continue to pass more stimulus. Now, economists say if they continue to pass more stimulus, they can shorten that recovery even by half. But still, 2 years is a long time. And that is exactly what the Democrats are saying. They're like, hey, we still got 2 to 4 years of an economic recovery. Been back in 2008, 2009 with the housing crash and that recovery, there was no virus at all, and it took us 4 years to recover. Now we're dealing with a virus and an economic crash, so it could be even longer. So we hope that the virus goes away tomorrow, but just because the virus is theoretically gone in the next couple months, right? Theoretically, we hope that happens. The economic recovery and people struggling and, temporary inflation because we're coming out of a recession. So things are inflating temporarily as we kind of gain momentum, which we're not really seeing right now. These economic reports are showing that the economy is pretty terrible. It's barely creeping out at like a snail's pace. So, and this is what Democrats are saying. This is why they want to pass this fourth stimulus check, these monthly recurring stimulus checks. Again, I think that best case scenario, we see the monthly recurring stimulus checks. Worst case scenario, I think we see at least one more stimulus checks passed by the Democrats by themselves. So I think that's worst case scenario in my personal opinion. But we also have these other things that Democrats want to do is increased Medicare. By the way, if you can see right there, it's literally like a thunderstorm right outside my my filming office studio here. So we'll see if I don't get blown away like Dorothy, hopefully, right? But not only has a Democratic Representative Jayapal introduced a bill for a $2,000 payment, then followed by $1,000 monthly recurring payments, but she's also the head of a big charge for Medicare expansion along with Senator Bernie Sanders. She has over 155 Democratic lawmakers behind her that are urging Biden to expand Medicare in the next American Families Plan, which would include free hearing, dental, vision, and hearing aids at no additional cost for Medicare and possibly lower the Medicare eligibility age to age 60 or even 55. There's also 3 different Social Security proposals to raise Social Security. And I always get a few comments saying, well, Jimmy, how can they possibly raise Social Security when they're struggling to just keep it alive and keep it afloat? And they can do this via several different ways. Number one, the one they're talking about for Social Security and Medicare is that they can pay for those raises is simply by forcing pharmaceutical companies to give us prescription drug prices for the same price that they sell it to for other countries. Okay, Senator Bernie Sanders has a famous example that prescription drug companies make insulin for $6 a vial. Here you can see here, he says the cost of a standard unit of insulin for these countries to buy it, $7, $7.52, $9, $11, $12, $14. So anywhere from $7 to $14. And as you can see here, the US pays $98 for the same vial of insulin. It says our job is to end the greed, the collusion, and the price fixing on pharmaceutical industry and substantially lower drug prices. Now, the US government can save about $500 billion every single year by forcing the pharmaceutical companies to give us the same prices they give to other countries via a law. Literally pass a law that says you can't sell it to the US government or the US people for more than what you sell it to for any other countries. That would literally save the government $500 billion every single year. And they can use that for Social Security increases and Medicare increases without even um, raising a dollar on taxes. President Biden also has a couple other different proposals to raise taxes on the wealthy, as well as the IRS says that there's about $1 trillion every single year that the IRS is owed that they don't collect for various different reasons that they can, again, $1 trillion every single year that they can use for Social Security increases, more stimulus checks, more stimulus packages without even raising a single dime in taxes. And but there is one controversial issue with this IRS being able to, gather or claim all the money that they owed. The one controversial issue in there is that the IRS wants to be able to go into every person's bank account and download their bank account information for every single person in the U.S. Okay, the problem with that is that there literally would be no privacy. The government would be right in your bank account at any given moment. They'd be able to download, hundreds of millions of people's bank accounts every day or every week, and they would just go right to the banks to do it. So they'd go to, Bank of America, Charter One, and Huntington, all these large banks, right? And they would literally just go right to the bank, and they'd say, "All right, give us all the data." And they would take the basically every single transaction in your bank account for hundreds of millions of people, everybody in the U.S. Reason they want to do that is because they want to see if they're owed money. So they see if you bought Bitcoin for $1,000 and sold it for $10,000, well, they would know that you owe them, taxes on a $9,000 gain, just as an example. But that's a very controversial issue because, well, nobody wants to give the government that power to just go and look at everybody's bank account every single day for no reason, without a subpoena, a warrant, like literally no privacy, right? Now that would, if they were able to do that, they'd be able to collect all the money they owe, and they'd be able to use it for Social Security raises and Medicare raises and stimulus packages. But on the other hand, you'd have the government in your bank account every day. So, yeah, very controversial issue there. Again, that's just one part of the IRS. Basically, they're owed about $1 trillion a year, and they can use it to pay for these different packages without even raising taxes. But that's the one controversial issue with it. The other thing the Biden administration wants to do is to hire 87,000 more IRS workers and train them to be able to do audits and collect the money that they're owed, because they're severely understaffed right now, not only from the pandemic, but former President Trump actually cut the staff of the IRS, probably because he's not a fan of the IRS in general. Like most people are not a fan of the IRS in general, right? But yeah, there's two varying different point of views. President Trump wanted to cut that, cut the red tape, cut the enforcement. President Biden wants to increase the enforcement because he wants to have the money to be able to use for these Social Security and Medicare expansions, increases, as well as more stimulus programs. I have a very good video I did here just in the last few days about President Biden's Social Security raise to over $16,000 a year, and how they're going to pay for that, and how President Biden himself wants to do that. I'll link you to that video here in just a moment. If you haven't watched that, or maybe if you've only watched it once, you should rewatch it because it's a very good video on President Biden himself, his own plan to raise Social Security benefits. Now, remember that we're probably not going to see all these things in the next package, okay? Because there's really just too many things. There's Social Security raises, Medicare raises, forced stimulus checks, expansion of the child tax credits, which are the monthly stimulus checks that are going to be starting on July 15th of $250 to $300 per month per child. Those are already passed for 1 year. They want to extend that to 2025. That could be in the next package. They want to do 2 years of free college, 2 years of free preschool, which will be an absolute game changer if you're allowed to go to college for free for 2 years to a community college. Imagine that, if you could just go to college just because you want to learn some stuff, you think it might be interesting to go there, or you can go and get a 2-year degree completely for free and use that in your field of work to get a raise. Maybe that means a couple dollars an hour more raise you can do. You could take nighttime classes and not even need to pay for it. So there's a lot of different things. There's literally probably about 15 or 20 different stimulus items that we talk about on the show that they're negotiating on right now for the fourth stimulus check package. and mostly negotiating on just between the Democrats. But let me be clear here. There will not be every single item in this next stimulus package. Some items have kind of a more likelihood to be in there. Some are probably going to be pushed off to the next package, which there is another package being discussed after this. As again, the economic recovery is not going to go, we're not going to get back to normal here in the next 30 days. And the Democrats have a little bit over a year to get everything on their agenda done. The Social Security raise, this Medicare expansion, the next set of stimulus checks, the child stimulus checks, all these things that they want to get done, they have a little bit over a year to do, because then when the next election comes, they really can't take the chance on that, because if they lose a single seat in the Senate, they lose the Senate. They lose just a couple, it's like 2 or 3 seats in the House, they lose the House. And even worse than that is the U.S. Census Bureau, because of the new data, the Democrats are actually losing a couple seats in the House for the next election, and they're going through a restructuring of the districts right now. So before they even get to the election, mathematically, it's going to be probably about a dead even tie. The Democrats are going to lose a few seats, and again, if the Democrats lose even a single seat or two in the House, or one seat in the Senate, they will lose control of either one of them. Then they won't have the trifecta of having the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and then they'll have to negotiate with every single bill with the Republicans. Right now, they're kind of in the unique situation where they can pass several bills through the reconciliation process. Again, when October starts, they get a whole nother set of reconciliation cards, which is 4 months from now. So they're kind of in this unique position where they have the House, the Senate, and the presidency, but they only have a little bit over a year to get all these things done. So we're going to probably see multiple different packages before that happens, and they're going to probably try to pass as much as they can before that next election. So I will keep you up to date with everything. Again, if you got that Social Security letter about your benefits being decreased, please email it to me if you can, and black out your personal information. And again, I'm here for you guys. I'll keep you up to date on everything and let you know the good, the bad, and the ugly about everything going on in Washington, D.C., as well as what these next stimulus packages, Social Security raises, and Medicare raises. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates. Remember, new videos come out every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss any episodes. I don't want you to miss anything important. You can click the bell icon that appears next to the subscribe button to get reminder notifications when we go live with new videos. You can click this video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. You can click this video here to see all the state stimulus checks going out from states, cities, and counties and other stimulus programs now. And you can see this video, click on this, about President Biden's Social Security raise. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.